Congratulations on the 11-week pregnancy milestone. You are so close to the end of the first trimester. Your baby is the size of a fig this week. A fig is a fruit from the fig tree that is grown in the Mediterranean. I have never seen one, but that is the reference we are given this week. As we have mentioned before, I do not like the fruit references, so I have purchased the Touch of Life. And this week we have week 11 and the baby is sucking their finger, which is so distinctive and so precious. And the baby fits in the palm of your hand, very, very tiny, is only about the size of your pinky, not even. The baby is so small, but if we reference it to only 2 weeks ago, we can see how much the baby has grown just from week 9 to 11. The baby is just over 1.5 inches long, measuring in at approximately 1.6 inches and weighs 1.5 ounces. The fingers and toes are becoming very distinctive this week, and as the fingers and toes grow longer as the week progresses, they will appear more like the sweet little fingers that will clasp around yours in the months ahead. Your baby's vital organs now are becoming more and more active with each passing day. The baby's 4 chambers of the heart are now fully formed, and as you already know, the heart has been beating for many weeks now. In addition, your baby's liver and kidneys are now ready and functioning. Sometime within this week, your baby's sex organs will start to differ from one another also. But it will still take a few weeks for the sex of your sweet little baby to be visible on an ultrasound. You may also be starting to get some relief from your morning sickness, although this can take time. You can thank the developing placenta for beginning to function for your baby's benefit and relief of yourself. Although don't become discouraged because it may take a few more weeks to fully alleviate that morning sickness. Maybe you are counting the days until you have more energy and the morning sickness finally ends. These final days of waiting can be daunting and seem so long depending on how hard morning sickness has hit. During the first trimester, I know I feel like I could sleep for 12 hours a night and still need a nap or daily multiple naps throughout the day. The house seems to fall behind on anything that is not essential, and my husband eats big lunches at work because he knows my energy and appetite are not up to cooking. As our family has increased in size, I have learned to wear masks while cooking to aid in preparing meals to help with keeping up with the demands of a large family. I have even sprayed a light scent that I like inside the mask to further the covering up on the cooking smells. Here are multiple tips that I have learned work well. Have the trash can taken out at night and make sure the sink is empty and washed out before going to bed. Run an air purifier on high while you sleep, so when you wake up, the air will be fresh. Have a bowl of cut lemons and put it overnight with a cup of baking soda in the fridge or freezer to help with the odors. I also buy powdered charcoal, which helps to absorb additional odors within the fridge or freezer. If you do not have enough energy to vacuum more than once a week, just spray your couch with a 1.5% hydrogen peroxide mixture to deodorize and sanitize. Even if you don't feel good, actually moving will keep your mind off of how you feel and make you feel more productive. Although remember, you are growing your most special little baby, and your body needs rest to do this wonderful service. So sit down when you need to and rest. These final weeks of the first trimester can seem unending. A mother's digestion slows due to all the growing activities of your body, of your baby, and your resulting hormonal changes. To combat this, you can try to add in more fiber, or with your doctor's approval, try some Miralax, which uses your body's own water to draw more water into the intestines, giving real relief for constipation. You may also feel heartburn, and even though you may not have known what even heartburn was before pregnancy, you probably know it now. So if you feel a tightening or burning sensation down through your esophagus as you eat, this is the heartburn. You may want to ask your doctor about Tums, and if you despise the chalky taste, you can try the new chewable ones that are tolerated much better, in my opinion. Don't be upset if you know someone who is pregnant and maybe has a cute little bump. Maybe yours isn't showing yet, or you just look like you ate too much for dinner. However you externally appear on the outside, it never diminishes the miracle within you that you are aiding into development. Rejoice in your growing baby. Some women, however, just have that glow from the beginning, and some get covered in spots and rashes. It all depends on the hormonal changes of each individual body. Rashes and itchy skin are quite common, even though the pregnancy glow is what is spoken of most often. It is important to remember that if you don't consume the proper nutrition through foods or a supplement, your baby will get it from your bones, because there are crucial developmental needs during pregnancy. Although eating correctly will not completely alleviate all pregnancy ails, you definitely can do yourself a favor by eating the better foods. In addition, if you are worried about the initial pregnancy appointment and germs, try to get the first appointment of the day to avoid many new people in the waiting room and rushing. But anymore, with the decline in babies, I have only known of empty waiting rooms, no matter the time of day. So if mornings are not your thing, take the morning to get up slowly, rejoice in your new little one, and do something special or after your appointment. Go out to breakfast, go for a smoothie or a walk, or shopping for baby clothes. Meet your husband for lunch or a friend. Make the day about you and your little one. Love that new baby and rejoice in the gift God has given you. If you haven't already, you should try to cut out any unnecessary commitments to allow more time for your body to rest. Yes, there is a lot of preparing to do, but the second trimester, when you have more energy, is the time for that. Now we should allow ourselves to rest as much as we can within our ability, given our family size. I remember working and being in nursing school during my first pregnancy, and I just couldn't do it at one point. I felt so sick, and I fully surrendered to God, and I gave my 2 weeks notice for my job. Driving made me sick, and moving around at work made me even sicker. So I trusted in God, and even as a single mom, I stepped away. I did have the support of my family to fall back on, and even though they did not have a lot of money, they allowed me that time to rest. I was not even in a marriage or a stable relationship, but my family gave me that time, and within their loving act of service, I looked more to God as to why this nice act was being done for me, despite what I truly deserved, despite what I felt I truly deserved. I spent all of my time trying to finish up whatever classes for school I could, trying to finish up whatever classes for school I could online during that time. And I remember just sitting out in the spring weather, reading, studying, and listening to my schoolwork with my eyes shut when the reading made me sick. I would take short naps throughout my time of reading and meditating, and that time led me closer to Christ. Now, being married to my husband, being pregnant with our 9th, I do much of the same things. I plan my naps aligned with my little ones' naps, and getting my older ones involved in a productive task while the little ones nap so I can rest. It is totally different, but at the same time includes a lot of the same tactics. So take moments to plan how best to fit your time in with the needs of your little or big family. Remember too, if you randomly feel like you start crying or just feel sad and exhausted, and your responses seem to be very rigid towards others, then just try to remember your fatigue is real. You are human. Your emotions are coming from increased hormones. You can try your best to respond slower so you don't come across as harsh or mean. And I just know the struggle is real. I have heard from many wise women that we are more strict with our own families and our children at this time because we need them to get used to caring more for us and our new little one in the coming months. Yes, we need them to rise to the challenge to be more comforting, understanding, and helpful. But they also need us to communicate our needs, not just yell out commands. Healthy relationships need adaptation, and pregnancy is a time for all parties to adapt to the new needs of the mother and the new child already present growing within the womb. So please don't be hard on yourself if you have not been the most faithful person up until this point in your life. Every day is a new day to start anew, and even the most surprising people can call us to want to emulate part of another person's life by acts of service. Every day is a new day for you and your child, and changing your life now for your baby will never be forgotten in that child's eyes. Every day is a new day for positive growth and development if we rely not on ourselves, but on God. Now there are so many Catholic pregnancy centers, groups in person and online, and you can build a new community. Maybe pregnancy was just the gift you needed to jumpstart a change that you didn't know how to make in your life at the present time. Or maybe you did everything right and still feel like you need more support. Either way, there is always progress to more and a sustained growth towards God. The saints never stopped progressing in their spiritual life until they were united with God Himself. And even then, they probably still progressed. Rather than over-focusing on all of these sufferings of pregnancy, you can find that there are so many positive things to fill your time with. And prayer brings so much fulfillment at all times, but especially in times of waiting and exhaustion. I love the Magnificat subscription. You can get individual copies for only a few dollars each, and sometimes you can find additional copies laying around at the entrance of your church. The Magnificat includes morning prayer, evening prayer, and night prayer. They also have the daily Mass readings as well as art and explanations of the artwork and paintings. You could also buy a book about your child's saint to read and learn about their life during your pregnancy. Learning to meditate and sit in silence are also wonderful things to begin to practice during pregnancy. I have found that I love to ponder on the pregnancy of Mary, who would have been the only human without bodily suffering that comes from pregnancy due to original sin. But that can leave many questions, since Mary still was able to suffer. Would Mary have experienced a calmer morning sickness or no morning sickness at all? Would she have become more tired during the first trimester? Would she have had food cravings or felt satisfied by eating specific foods? We don't know much about our Heavenly Mother, but what we do know is that Jesus, being both divine and human, still grew within her womb. So we are able to postulate that his divinity would have radiated throughout his own mother. Such as the women who touched him in the Bible as he felt the power go forth from him. It is a wonderful thought to contemplate this week. I even believe that the pregnancy glow that many women experience would have been undeniable in Mary. I believe as she showed up at Elizabeth's house, she would have just radiated joy, just by her appearance, leading to St. Elizabeth just knowing that something was amazingly different immediately. As we ponder these thoughts, may we become more united to the mystery that was Mary's life. Blessed are you among women, and blessed is the fruit of your womb. What beautiful words. May you ponder them along with the words of St. Elizabeth. God's plan is better than ours. May we always remember these words. See you next week, my friend.